Its mother and son were about to cross the road. The driver, seeing the potential for a collision, reflexively yielded. Little did he know, the next second, the mother frantically threw herself over her son. Her wails echoed through the entire street, but the child would never respond to her again. The driver never imagined that his act of kindness would become a harbinger of doom, while the real perpetrator, however, showed no remorse. A stout woman nearby witnessed the entire scene and recognized the killer as Wei En. But what she didn't know was that this one observation would bring her fatal peril. Wei En also saw her at the same time. Afterward, Wei En drove the car to the outskirts. Confirming no one was around, she stared at the bloodstains on the car hood and cursed, "Damn it!" She then took out water and a cloth and wiped the bloodstains clean. The next day, Wei En arrived at the stout woman's house. This resembled a messy warehouse. Wei En, with a fake smile, struck up a conversation with her. The stout woman recognized her at once, pointed at her, and yelled, "Murder! Get out! I've already called the police." Wei En's heart pounded. She hastily asked, "Have you told anyone else?" "No, but I wrote a letter to Jin Zhang today, also stating that if anything happens to me, it's definitely your doing." Hearing this, Wei En twisted her neck and sneered, "Writ today, then it's not too late." In this, she charged forward, kicked and shattered the glass, and barged into the house. Accompanied by a scream, the stout woman quickly lost her life. Afterward, Wei En calmly closed the door and muttered, "What a pain!" Meanwhile, the police chief received the letters, but the one reporting Wei En was specifically pulled out by her. It turned out the chief and Wei En had long been in cahoots. However, not long after, the chief received a police call. It was surprisingly from the stout woman. Hadn't died after all. She was discovered by a child and promptly taken to the hospital. Now she reported Wei En again, but to her surprise, the chief still did nothing. Left with no choice, she could only beg her elder brother Chang Mao to help her get revenge. Chang Mao looked frail and delicate, yet at this moment, he was challenging a bald man with a muscular physique. If he won, he'd be the boss. If he lost, he'd get a bullet. Bald man with a disdainful expression punched Chang Mao in the head, giving him an introductory gift. Right from the start of the fight, the bald man took an overwhelming lead. Victory seemed within reach, but surprisingly, Chang Mao easily turned the tables. The bald man's face turned crimson and his ears burned, while Chang Mao remained as steady as Mount Tai. With a slight effort, he swiftly brought the bald man down. Then, with one punch, the bald man died on the spot. Henchmen, seeing how the wind blew, immediately acclaimed Chang Mao as their new boss, but Chang Mao shook his head. His only purpose in coming here was to inquire about Wei En's whereabouts. After getting the information, Chang Mao went straight to her house. Little did he know, as soon as he reached the doorway, Wei En pointed a gun at him. But Chang Mao didn't panic at all. Instead, he pressed closer step by step. In the blink of an eye, he snatched the gun from Wei En's hand. He stepped forward and delivered 2 kicks. "You dared to injure my sister. You don't want to live, do you?" Afterward, he took Wei En to a desolate wilderness. He pointed to a rock and said, "Stand on it and I'll let you go. It's that simple." Wei En climbed onto it. But the next second, her feet stepped on a tripwire connected to concealed blades. Just like that, she met her end. Turned out Chang Mao never intended to let her go. He just wanted to disguise her death as a suicide. What goes around comes around. Heaven spares no one. Wei En, having committed countless evil deeds,